Before I start off, I just want to say a huge thank you to Glenn, Doge, and Ha for sharing so much information with me. This video wouldn't be possible without them, and I'm extremely grateful. It's a well-known fact by anyone who owns a Minecraft account that your username can be a minimum of 3 characters. But this hasn't always been the case. There are plenty of accounts with 2-character names. In this video, we're going to be learning about the 2-character accounts that got their names changed. Big deal, the names can just be changed back, right? Well, because of the minimum of 3 characters in a Minecraft name, once a 2-character account's name gets changed, it can never be changed back, removing that 2-character name from existence forever. There is one case where someone changed their 2-character name and got it back, but we'll talk about that later. Welcome to the world of lost 2-character names. The first type of 2-character names that are now lost forever are the ones that were name changed by their original owners. Out of the 30 2-character names that have been changed, 13 are in this category. The best out of these 13, in my opinion, are TA, JS, and E3. Most likely, these were old players who didn't know how rare and valuable their accounts were. It's worth mentioning that some of these cases were possibly alt shops cracking mass amounts of accounts and selling them, and then their buyers changing the names without knowing. Either way, no big stories here, just sad cases of people throwing away hundreds or thousands of dollars that they never knew they had. The next category is accounts that were used to claim OG names on name change day. There are 3 accounts in this category. The first of these is 2Y. According to Doge, it was owned by someone on hack forums, and then on February 4th, 2015, he used it to claim the name Cry, and then he sold the account. The new owner of it sold it again to someone who applied a 2016 Minecon cape on it, and then decided to transfer it onto a fresh account with no name history using a gift card so it'd be more secure. This proved to be a very good decision because within a month of him changing the name from Cry to Rip Cry, the account got locked. Once the account was successfully transferred, he applied 4 Minecon capes to it. The second account in this category is 4L. I couldn't find much info about this account other than the fact that it was used to claim the name Enemy on name change day. So we're just going to assume that the original guy who owned it still owns it to this day. The third and final account in this category is 0W. 0W is probably one of the more interesting and unique cases in this video. The original owner used it to claim LGBT on name change day, but a few months later realized that he had made a mistake and wanted his old name back. So he contacted Mojang support, and nobody knows what sorcery he pulled, but Mojang agreed to change his name back to what it was before, even though it did not meet the requirements for a username. Our next category is scams. As you'll see, this category is pretty large. That's because there are a lot of scams that happen in the Minecraft OG community. The first one I want to talk about is _G. Back before it got name changed on February 18th, 2015, it was used by its owner to scam people. He would sell the account, and then because he had the transaction ID and the original email, he would go to Mojang support and tell them the account got hacked, and they'd just give it back to him. Well, I guess he pushed his luck a little too far. He sold the account to someone who knew it was a scam account, and before he could pull the account back, the person who bought it changed the name to _GG no re. If you happen to watch this video, whoever used _G to scam multiple people out of their money, I could not have put it better myself. GG no re. The next account in this category is R2. It was owned by an account collector named Markio, who tried to sell it, but he ended up getting scammed. The scammer then changed the name. Rest in peace, my sweet prince. Account number 3 in the scam department is G8. Ha owned the account with a friend, and they decided to sell it. The guy who bought it was a scammer, so they contacted Mojang support and pulled the account back. But this was back in 2016 when Mojang support was less strict, so the scammer was also going to be able to pull the account. So Ha and his friend changed the name, making sure nobody could have it ever again. Next up is 7B. On September 28th, 2016, the MC Market user Burke made a scam report against Nerd, saying that his friend, 7B, agreed to trade his account for Nerd's account Love. According to the original report, 7B went first, and as soon as he sent the account, he got blocked on Skype. The scammer then changed the name. Nerd replied to the scam report and proved that it wasn't actually him who did it, although Burke claimed Nerd was the one who referred him to the scammer. Either way, Nerd is not the one at fault here. Nerd revealed in his reply that Burke, previously known as Casper, stole the account to begin with, and his friend, who somehow ended up with the account, consequently deserved to get scammed. The whole situation was a mess and resulted in nothing but loss and anger. Our next victim of the dreaded name change is NY, one of the best 2-character counts in my opinion. It was a scam similar to _G and met the same fate. Somebody bought it and knowing it was a scam account, changed the name. WV, just like _G and NY, was a scam account that got name changed by a buyer. VE was scammed by Raz, a known scammer in the community. Not much is known about E2, but it was likely scammed and name changed just like VE. 7P was also a scam account similar to _G, NY, and WV, but somebody scammed the scammer for the account and then changed the name. The final account in the scam category is also the most recent case of a 2-character getting its name changed. On June 20th, 2020, K8 was almost sold by someone who claimed to have the original email on the account. The buyer quickly noticed that although the Minecraft account was created in 2010, the email that the seller claimed was the original one was created 1 hour before the sale. Because the buyer had been given semi-full access to the account, they changed the name so nobody else could be scammed using it. The new name is lick.gg. Our final category is made up of the Misfits, the accounts that don't really fit into the previous 3 categories. The first name in this category is actually a scam account. 8i was originally owned by a guy on MC Market known as Render, but he tried to sell it and the buyer scammed him. Not all was lost because Render had the original email and transaction ID, but sadly, because it was known that Render had the TID, the scammer changed the name so Render could never have it back. Doge found out about this, and because he knew the story about 0W and how they got their name changed back by contacting Mojang, he bought 8i, now known as Rip Your Server, from Render for $20. He then made a Mojang support ticket saying that the account had been hacked and he would like his previous name back, but his efforts were not enough. Mojang said that it was impossible to change an account to a 2-letter name, even though they had done it before for 0W. What happened to the second account in our Misfit category, N7, is kind of a funny story. It was originally thought to be a scam account, and it was placed in a thread on MC Market where they listed a bunch of scam accounts. But the original owner actually replied to the thread confirming that he had changed the name and deleted the account. Considering that he changed the name to "This Game Is Bad," we can safely assume that he quit Minecraft and decided to just take the account with him. Our second to last account in this video is 9F. According to Glenn, it had been sold and scammed too many times. Because of this, lots of people had the transaction ID, and if you know the types of people that hang out in the Minecraft OG community, or if you learned anything from this video, you know that it did not take long for the account to get its name changed. The last account we'll be looking at is the result of a heart-wrenching mistake that I'm sure causes lots of self-kicking and regret to this day. The owner of LA accidentally showed his account information while sharing his screen, and one of the people in the call with him logged into the account and changed the name. I can only imagine how he felt. One slip of his mouse and he lost thousands of dollars in the blink of an eye. A common theme in the ever-growing story of the 2-character names that are now lost forever.